Morning, all of you. I am Mrs. J. Purkudi, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivagasi. Today, we are going to learn about differential thermal analysis. The technique involves temperature differences is recorded between the substance and the reference material with respect to time or temperature. Both the sample and the references are subjected to same temperature and same environment. We have to give same temperature to both the substance and the reference material. Environment here refers to the nature of gas present inside the furnace. That is, we can analyze the substance in presence of air or in the absence of air. Zero temperature difference is noted between the sample and the reference material only when the sample does not undergo any type of chemical or physical change. If there is any reaction takes place in the sample by the absorbance of heat, then the temperature difference between them will arise. This causes the endothermic peak and the exothermic peak. Endothermic peaks is due to physical changes in the sample. Exothermic peaks is due to chemical changes in the sample. Two types of peaks that is generally noticed in the TTA graph. One is the downward peak, the other one is upward peak. Downward peak corresponds to the endothermic reaction. What is endothermic reaction? When we supply the heat to the sample, it absorbs the heat. After absorption, sublimation and dehydration, decarboxylation, and some other reaction causes the downward peak. The second one, that is exothermic peak, it is also called as upward peak. This is due to some chemical reactions like oxidation, polymerization, etc. After completion of the reaction, again the sample gains or loses the temperature so that they maintain zero temperature difference between the sample and the reference. This is the TTA graph. This is obtained by plotting the temperature in difference along y-axis and the temperature or time along x-axis. See, in the graph we can notice the exothermic peak, that is upward peak. This represents the DTA apparatus. The DTA apparatus consists of four main parts. First one is sample holder. The sample holder holds the sample as well as the reference. Second one, furnace and the temperature programmer. Third one, metallic block. And the fourth one, thermocouple. Let us see one by one. Sample holder assembly. It consists of a thermocouple for sample and the reference. It is surrounded by a block for uniform heat distribution to sample and the reference. The sample is contained in a small crucible. The crucible is made up of pyrex, silica, nickel or platinum. We can select crucible as our wish. That is based on the nature of sample and the temperature what we are going to use in the analysis determines the nature of the crucible. Thermocouple should not be placed in direct contact with the sample because this may contaminate or degrade the sample. Second one is furnace and temperature programmer. The furnace should provide stable and efficiently large hot zone. It also quickly responds the commands from the temperature programmer. This is very essential to maintain constant rate of heating or cooling in the furnace. Third one is metallic block. Metallic block is less prone to the basic line drift when compared to ceramics. Due to the high thermal conductivity of the metals, small DTA peaks are obtained when compared to that of the metallic block. Fourth one is thermocouple. During TTA, problems may arise in uniform transferring of heat away from the specimen. This may be solved by using thermocouples in the form of flat disk. This flat disk thermocouple ensure optimum thermal contact with the flat bottom sample container. So, flat bottom sample container and flat disk thermocouple is needed for optimum thermal contact. Every technique has its own application. Here also, DTA provides wide number of applications and information for the phase transformation, structure inversion, dehydration, decomposition or dissociation, reduction or oxidation, destruction, formation of crystalline lattice structure, recrystallization, reaction due to impurities in the sample, and volatilization of liquids. First application is the qualitative analysis. DTA analysis of chrysolite, that is white asbestos, shows dehydroxylation exothermic peak at 650 degrees centigrade and crystallization exothermic peak at 845 degrees centigrade. Talc is a chemical that is present in the phase powder. If some amount of chrysolite is present in the talc, we can easily find out by the TTA. During the analysis of talc sample, very small amount of chrysolite, that is even 1%, is easily found out by the TTA exotherm and endotherm peaks. This analysis is very simple one. It does not require any sample preparations like other methods. The next and important application is DTA curve of calcium oxalate monohydrate. The DTA curve of calcium oxalate monohydrate contains two endotherm and one exothermic peaks. Endotherm peaks are due to decomposition reaction. The first endothermic peak is due to dehydration and the second endotherm peak is due to decarboxylation. The reactions are mentioned in the graph itself. One exothermic peak is due to oxidation reaction. Next application is the phase diagram and study of phase transition by using DTA. Thermogram of pure sulfur by the DTA analysis shows four endothermic peaks. The first peak at 113 degrees centigrade is due to rhombic form of sulfur, and the second endothermic peak at 124 degrees centigrade is due to monoclinic form of sulfur. Third endothermic peak at 179 degrees centigrade denotes the melting point of the sulfur, and the last endothermic peak at 446 degrees centigrade is due to the boiling point of the sulfur, that is at 446 degrees centigrade sulfur starts to boil. We can able to identify individual polymer from a mixture of polymer. The graph here represents DTA curve of a mixture of polymer. We can see various endothermic peaks. The endothermic peaks are obtained at the melting point of each polymer. But we can notice two endothermic peak for PTFE. PTFE represents polytetrafluorine ethylene because the first peak is due to melting point, the second peak is due to crystallization transition. The first peak in the graph is due to PTFE and the second endothermic peak is due to HIPPE, that is high pressure low density polyethylene, and the third endothermic peak is due to LPPE, low pressure high density polyethylene. PPE denotes polypropylene, POM denotes polyoxymethylene. The next application is characterization of polymers by means of TTA curve. TTA curve of an individual polymer illustrates the various types of transition it undergone during heating. Glass transition temperature, crystallization temperature, melting point temperature, decomposition temperatures are found out with the help of the TTA curve. Able to determine the boiling point and the melting point of organic compounds using the DTA. DTA graph of benzoic acid is shown in the figure. The DTA graph of benzoic acid is analyzed in atmospheric temperature and also at high pressure. In both the analysis, two endothermic peaks are obtained. The first endothermic peak is due to the melting point of benzoic acid and the second endothermic peak is due to the boiling point of benzoic acid.